I'm Cindy Niederhoff, and today we're continuing our series on estate planning with financial life planner Tom DeYoung and attorney Ethan Huizinga. Last time we discussed some reasons for creating a will. Today we'll start talking about some of the important language in a will.
Thanks, Cindy. Ethan, the wills that I've seen in my practice have a lot of the same language in them. What are some of the examples of standard will clauses?
That's a great question, Tom. Two completely unrelated wills almost always contain similar, maybe even identical language. One example might be a statement of who the testator's heirs are. For example, my will lists my wife and 2 sons. Another example might be a paragraph appointing the executor of the estate.
It sounds like the common terms are terms that every will needs to have.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, every will should contain certain pieces of information in order to be completely effective. If you never mention that you have children, your executor might not track down your daughter who is stationed overseas with the Navy, for example.
Are there common terms that are unnecessary?
If I answer yes to that question, I'll get thrown out of the Sioux County Bar Association. In all seriousness, though, there are certain terms that get used in wills because we've always used them in wills. Phrases like I give, devise, and bequeath, or per stirpes, have legal meanings that make them important to attorneys. To the typical estate planning client, though, per stirpes sounds like a medical condition.
You're right. They're often foreign terms to clients, but a lot of them are actually Latin terms that have legal meanings.
Right. We use the words give, devise, and bequeath for different types of gifts. Traditionally, the word devise was used to transfer land to your heirs, while bequeath applied only to personal property like furniture or jewelry. Lawyers added the word give to include cash in the will. We still use the 3 words today because that's how it's always been done.
And what about the Latin term per stirpes?
Per stirpes is a way to divide your estate amongst your heirs. If you don't choose how your property should be distributed at your death, there are 2 main ways that the property could be divided depending on state law. Per stirpes is one method, per capita is the other.
And I know that distinction is important, and we'll talk about that difference next time.
Thanks, Tom and Ethan. Part 3 of our series on estate planning will talk about ways to divide your estate among your heirs.